Hark, young adventurers! Prepare for the enchanting tale of sweetheart Roland, where a kind maiden faces a wicked stepmother's magic, amazing transformations, and discovers if true love can truly prevail.
Once upon a time, a wicked witch lived with her 2 daughters. She adored her own child, who was ugly and cruel, but despised her beautiful, kind stepdaughter. One day, the witch's daughter coveted the stepdaughter's pretty apron. She demanded it from her mother, who promised it with a dreadful plan. The old woman whispered, "Tonight, when she's asleep, I'll cut off her head. Just make sure you're at the far side of the bed." Little did they know, the gentle maiden was hiding nearby, her heart pounding with terror. All day, the poor maiden dared not leave the house, dreading the night. When bedtime arrived, slyly, the witch's daughter rushed to lie on the safe far side of the bed. But once her stepsister was fast asleep, the clever maiden gently pushed her to the front. She then quietly took her own place at the very back, snuggled against the comforting wall, hoping her plan would save her. In the deep of the night, the wicked old woman crept into the bedroom. She clutched a heavy axe in her right hand, her eyes gleaming with malice. With her left hand, she cautiously felt for a body at the front of the bed, confirming her target. Then, gripping the axe with both hands, she swung mightily. In a horrified instant, the witch accidentally cut off her own child's head, due to the maiden's clever swap. As soon as the witch was gone, the maiden slipped out of the house. She hurried to her beloved Roland and urgently knocked on his door. When he appeared, she tearfully explained, "Dearest Roland, we must escape immediately. My wicked stepmother tried to kill me, but accidentally took her own child's life. When dawn breaks and she sees what she's done, we will be in grave danger." Roland, with a look of concern, understood the urgency. Roland wisely advised, "First, you must retrieve her magic wand, or we can never truly escape her pursuit." The courageous maiden bravely fetched the powerful magic wand. With a heavy heart, she also took the dead girl's head, and let 3 drops of blood fall to the ground. 1 drop landed in front of the bed, another in the rustic kitchen, and a third on the wooden stairs, creating a magical distraction for the witch. Then, without a moment's delay, she and Roland fled into the night. The next morning, the old witch awoke and called for her daughter, wanting to give her the coveted apron. But there was no reply. "Where are you?" she shrieked. "Here, on the stairs. I am sweeping," magically answered the first drop of blood. The witch hurried out, but found no one there. Frantically, she called again. "Where are you?" Another voice from the second drop replied, "Here in the kitchen. I am warming myself." The witch rushed into the kitchen, finding it empty. Again she cried, "Where are you?" A third voice, from the blood in the room, responded, "Ah! Here in the bed. I am sleeping." She stormed into the bedroom, only to be struck with horror. There, in the bed, was her own daughter, decapitated and bathed in blood, a gruesome sight. Consumed by a ferocious rage, the witch sprang to the window. Her keen, magical sight allowed her to see far, and she spotted her stepdaughter with Roland, hurrying away into the distance. "That shall not save you!" the wicked witch shrieked, her voice echoing with dark magic. "Even if you've gone far, you won't escape me." She quickly pulled on her famous mini-league boots. With each huge step, these magical boots covered an hour's worth of walking, devouring the distance between them. It wasn't long before her powerful strides brought her closer and closer to the fleeing couple. The maiden and Roland could feel her dreadful presence drawing near, their hearts pounding in their chests. Just as the witch's towering shadow fell upon them, the quick-thinking maiden acted. She swiftly raised her magic wand, muttering an ancient spell. In an instant, her beloved Roland transformed into a shimmering, calm lake, reflecting the bright sky. Then, with another flick of the wand, the maiden herself became a beautiful duck, gracefully swimming in the very center of the water. The frustrated witch paced the shore, throwing breadcrumbs and trying every trick to entice the duck, her cackles filling the air, but the duck swam safely away from her grasp as night began to fall. As darkness swallowed the land, the wicked witch, defeated for the moment, was forced to return home. As soon as she disappeared, the maiden and Roland resumed their human forms, breathing sighs of relief. They walked through the night, hand in hand, until the first soft rays of dawn painted the sky. To protect themselves from further pursuit, the maiden transformed herself into a breathtakingly beautiful red flower nestled within a thorny briar hedge. Roland, with his kind brown eyes, became a joyous fiddler, playing a sweet melody beside her. Soon enough, the wicked witch, still fueled by her hatred, came striding towards the meadow once more. She saw the fiddler and the beautiful flower. "Dear musician," she cunningly asked, "may I pluck that gorgeous flower for myself?" But Roland, knowing her true nature and the maiden's disguise, replied with a friendly smile, "Oh yes, of course, and I shall play a lovely tune for you while you do it." He began to play a lively, enchanted melody. As the witch hastily crept into the thorny hedge, almost within reach of the flower she knew was the maiden, the fiddler's music grew faster and more enchanting. It was a magical dance, and whether she wished to or not, the wicked witch was compelled to spin and leap. The quicker Roland played, the more furiously she danced. The sharp thorns of the briar hedge tore at her old clothes, pricking and wounding her until blood stained her skin. Roland did not stop, and she was forced to dance until, exhausted and bleeding, she finally collapsed onto the ground, lifeless. Finally, delivered from the wicked witch's malice, a wave of relief washed over them. Roland, his heart full of renewed hope, declared, "Now I will return to my father and prepare for our joyous wedding." The faithful maiden, with a loving smile, replied, "I will wait for you here, and so that no one will recognize me, I will transform myself into a bright red stone landmark." With a tender embrace, Roland set off, leaving the maiden patiently waiting in the field, a steadfast red stone. But as Roland journeyed home, he, tragically, fell under the sway of another woman. This new companion captivated him so completely that he forgot all about his faithful maiden. The poor maiden, unwavering in her wait, stood as the red stone landmark for a very long time. As days turned into weeks and her beloved did not return, sadness enveloped her. With a heavy heart, she transformed herself once more, becoming a solitary, beautiful red flower, thinking, "Surely, someone will eventually come this way and trample me down." It happened that a kind shepherd was tending his fluffy sheep in that very field. His eyes caught sight of the unusually beautiful red flower, standing out among the green. Enchanted by its charm, he carefully plucked it and lovingly carried it back to his humble cottage. He placed the flower safely inside a wooden chest, unaware of the magic it held. From that day forth, strange and wonderful things began to occur within the shepherd's small home. Each morning, the shepherd awoke to a perfectly tidy house. The room was always swept clean, the table and benches scrubbed, and the cozy fire on the hearth already burning brightly, chasing away the morning chill. The water buckets were filled, as if by invisible hands. At noon, when he returned from his flock, the table would be laid, and a delicious dinner, prepared with care, awaited him. He simply could not fathom how these wonderful tasks were being done, as he never saw a single soul, nor could anyone possibly be hidden within his small dwelling. He was utterly baffled by the mysterious help, though he greatly appreciated the unexpected help. The shepherd eventually grew a little frightened by the unknown. Determined to understand, he sought the counsel of a wise woman renowned for her knowledge of enchantments. The wise woman, with a kindly smile, listened carefully. "There is magic at play here," she explained softly. "Tomorrow morning, listen closely for any movement in your room. Whatever you see emerge, quickly throw a white cloth over it, and the enchantment will be broken." The shepherd, feeling a glimmer of hope, decided to follow her advice precisely. The very next morning, just as the first light of dawn filled his room, the vigilant shepherd saw the wooden chest slowly open. From within, a beautiful red flower began to emerge. Instantly, remembering the wise woman's words, he quickly sprang forward, throwing a soft white cloth over the blossoming enchantment. In a magical shimmer, the transformation ended, and standing before him was the beautiful maiden he had saved. She confessed that she had been the flower, and had been tending to his home. She told him her entire wondrous story, and though he was charmed, she gently refused his marriage proposal, vowing to remain faithful to her lost Roland, but promised to keep house for him. Time passed, and the day for Roland's wedding to another maiden drew near, announced throughout the land with festive anticipation. According to old custom, all the young girls were invited to attend and sing in honor of the bridal pair. When the faithful maiden heard this news, her heart ached with profound sadness, feeling as if it would break. She longed to stay away, but the other girls insisted, kindly taking her along. As her turn to sing approached, she hung back until she was the last one left, unable to refuse any longer. With a deep breath, the faithful maiden began to sing, a song filled with all her sorrow, her love, and her enduring faithfulness. As her clear, beautiful voice reached Roland's ears, something incredible happened. He sprang to his feet, his eyes wide, and cried out with sudden clarity, "I know that voice! That is my true bride. I will have no other." Everything he had forgotten, every memory that had vanished from his mind, flooded back into his heart in an instant. The magic that had clouded his mind was finally broken. And so, the faithful maiden, whose love had endured so many trials, finally had her joyous wedding with her beloved Roland. From that day forward, all their grief and loneliness came to a beautiful end. Their hearts, once separated by magic and forgetfulness, were now united forever. This story teaches us that true love, faithfulness, and perseverance can overcome even the darkest enchantments and the longest periods of waiting, leading to the happiest of endings. Never give up on love and hope, for they truly conquer all.
Ever dreamed of being the hero? Now you get to be the star. Your adventure starts at TalesMio. Visit talesmio.com